パルス歴320年秋、西北方ルシタニア王国軍はマルヤム王国を滅亡せしめパルス王国に侵攻。これに対しアンドラゴラス3世は自ら軍を率いアトロパテネの野に侵略軍を迎え撃つべく進軍した。王太子アルスラーン・ウイジンス、時に14歳。
このアトロパテネの平原はルシタニア兵で埋め尽くされているようです。
私たちだけで進むのは危険そうだな。
Hi
まずは
folks,
前線の味方と合流し、
welcome to watch another video on my channel. This time I'll be doing a little expose what I think about the coming US presidential elections later this November. So there's a few months still up ahead with the campaigning for each of the party candidates. And if you only watch the conventional media, that is to say listen to radio, read newspapers or watch cable television or surf on the web with the in news sites of these big corporations, you only hear about the two main party contenders, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and that is also the case here in my native Finland and in most of Europe. The media is mostly concentrated on these two candidates and their one of the main things is that they here I would say in liberal Europe main focus is follows right on the heels of the US mainstream media and is very supportive of the Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton and very suspicious about and harsh on Donald Trump. The other candidates like the Libertarian candidate Johnson and Green Party candidate Stein are really not mentioned at all. But there's still enough time, especially when things get tough with the debates and all, and there's going to be many things coming up, especially with WikiLeaks and all the Democratic National Congress hackings and all other kinds of leaks from the Clinton Foundation, and there's most likely going to be some hidden details about the Trump campaign as well.
殿下、お姿が見える。突撃の戦闘におられたようだ。遅まきかもしれぬが守って差し上げよう。わかりました。
Like Brexit here in Finland, the mainstream pundits and all that crowd is pretty adamant that there's no way Trump is going to get elected, but they were quite sure that Brexit was not going to happen, and they were not even considering this possibility. And now with the latest reviews of social media and these modern web-based demographics, it has become quite obvious that Donald Trump is winning on that side. And even though that kind of followership is quite easy to fabricate, it's still quite clear that Clinton is quite unpopular outside the mainstream and the establishment. So they will try what they can to try to have a chilling effect with anything negative towards Hillary, and that's been the case. We've seen it all over the place, because even here in Finland, if you even suggest that Trump could win or that you're against Hillary, you'll be called a friend of Russia. So that's even the chosen narrative here and all around Finland. It's all about it's all given that the massing populists and nationalists and right-wing crowds are obviously being played by Russia for whatever means there is, trying to weaken Europe in favor of Russian influence, but that's unfortunately a bit too simplistic view of things, and only serves for a purpose that you try to quell all the criticism and trying to blame your political opponent with the line with the worst boogeyman there is. So this kind of guilty by association, superficial analysis is quite commonplace here in Finland. So you cannot associate with anyone considered having a Russian or Russophile mindset. And that same thing goes with anyone who's deemed racist. You cannot be associated with those people if you want to be taken seriously by the mainstream crowd, and that's only going to hurt their cause. And there's been many articles about the so-called post-fact or post-truth movement, but that's only one side of the coin once again, and they try to, the mainstream and the establishment here as well is trying to cover the tracks in support of war and crime abroad. I read a brilliant article by John Pilger, a renowned journalist, who does not agree at all with the mainstream point of view, and I guess he's either ignored or vilified by his, because of his chosen point of view. And so far these populist voices and these kind of things have been ignored, but now with the rise of Trump and Brexit and the populism and all things in that conjunction are deemed dangerous, and I can't say that censorship is rampant all over, but it is slowly creeping into the West, and when people die in suspicious conditions, like the DNC staffer who in fact has been indirectly linked to WikiLeaks revelations. It's kind of concerning to see these kinds of things being ignored systematically, even in our, well, that's the point of view that's the mainstream point of view is quite flawed in my opinion, because of those big omissions of the truth. So they are not to be trusted in that case, and many let's say independent bloggers and political analysts give better arguments than the mainstream crowds, even here in Finland. So I cannot say that Trump is going to win for sure, but it seems that Clinton is even more unpopular than people that are let known. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some big geopolitical movements trying to usurp the election before even the election day. So it wouldn't surprise me. There's something big brewing under the surface, and you should be concerned about those possibilities as well. Alright, I want to thank you for watching, and hope things stay interesting in the future as well.